Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead. I'm sitting here in front of my chicken coop, sheep barn, goat barn, and today I'm going to put a chicken run automatic door in that will open and close at night for me to help keep my chickens safe. Most people, a lot of people are getting these and putting these in because they don't want predators to come in at night. I have not had a huge problem with that because the opening, the chickens come through where the goats and sheep will be sleeping and where a pig used to sleep, and then have to crawl through a little hole there. And when I had a big pig there or the goats there, it tends to keep the raccoons and possums afraid of coming through and trying to get through all those animals. Plus, if there's mother goats or mother pigs or whatever, then any predator comes in and gets run off. But what my problem has been, and I had 30 chickens at the start of the summer and I'm down to 2 right now. Fortunately, I sold off a few. But the coyotes have been getting them, and the coyotes are not coming into the barn. But on many occasions, I'm waking up and my bedroom window is up high there, and I hear some squawking and whatnot just after sunrise, and I look out and I see coyotes running around in the pasture and snatching up chickens and going, because they're grabbing the chickens that are getting out there really just at daylight. And that's when the coyotes are coming in. So this chicken door is not to keep predators out. Well, it is, but for me personally, this is to keep the chickens in until I come down and do my chores. Once I've been down in the morning and been around the barn and done the chores and fed the animals and checked on them, made sure the predation stops, or seemingly stops at that point in time. So I'm going to set this chicken run so that it'll open up. So the installation is super easy. I was just looking at it. Basically, there's a few screws here that, you know, as long as you cut the opening right and screw it in, don't screw so tight that it cinches down, then it'll be over the door. You can press a button and to have the door manually open. Okay, and then so if I wanted to come down in the morning and just manually open it, I can do that. And also, you can close the door doing it manually. Now, there's not a clock on here, and you say, how can you do this automatically? There's a couple buttons that you push here, and basically, I can push it and get the green button on and then push it again, and so it will automatically open at that time. So after I install this today, what I'm going to do is try to do my chores a little bit later than normal, and then I'm going to push the button to open the door and set the timer, so that will be the time of day that it'll open up. And then likewise, it'll stay open, and then I'm going to come back in the evening and I could do the same sort of process with the red light, which closes the door and it'll go in there. So I was pleasantly surprised when I saw pictures of it. I didn't know how strong this was going to be, but it looks pretty strong, which is good. I was afraid, not that the goats are going to try to go through it, but like I said, I have goats in there, and they are right up against where the chickens go in sometimes and leaning and bumping up against it. But I think this is going to be strong enough that unless they're trying to ram it or break through it, that it's going to hold up. Okay, you might see I have a little bit of a unique installation here. My chickens run through this little hole right here, this wood framed box. There's a couple steps they need to go up to go through it, and then they step down on the brick and whatnot and go through. There's a fencing right here, okay, and this is what keeps the goats and the pigs and the sheep on the other side. The chickens come through here and will roost on this side. So like I said, there used to be a pig that slept right here, and that kept predators from wanting to come through. Why am I off the ground a little bit? I have a small hole, and this makes it a little bit harder for baby Nigerian dwarf goats. Because I have goats, they tend to want to come through the holes. I can tell you, this little hole right here, even an adult Nigerian dwarf can get through this really easily. So the hole in the fence is much smaller than this door actually is, but that's okay. And then just by raising it up and making it kind of a few steps, it makes it a little bit harder for the goats to get through. So I'm going to very simply just put this on the frame that I already had for the chickens to walk through. There's a little gap up here. I don't care. It's not big enough that anything is going to get through. They give you screws that comes with the package. The directions say don't use a screw gun because you're going to pinch down too hard. For me, that just means use the screw gun and be really careful. And so we're going to install the door. Okay. There she goes. And back down. That's it for installation. Well, that might be the easiest installation of anything I've ever done. Basically, put 6 screws in the wall. After the hole is already cut, you have to have the hole already cut. But hopefully this keeps my chickens safe, and I'm adding new chickens to the flock today. Thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Stay tuned to the channel, and I'll keep you updated on how things are going. Be blessed, everyone.